All right, shooters, welcome back to the show. In this episode, Chase Jenkins is going to talk about groundwork. What happens when you have to shoot from the ground?
Hey folks, Chase Jenkins. We're out here again today at the Mobile Metro Law Enforcement Training Facility in Mobile, Alabama. We're going to cover some groundwork today. There's several reasons that we cover groundwork extensively in our class. One, we want to be able to work the gun, get it out of the holster, present it, put rounds on target, manipulate it from whatever position we find ourselves in. That way, if our fight happens to be one where we're standing up on our feet, it should be an easy day. The other reason we want to do that is because a lot of times, not because of what we want, but just out of the situation itself, finds us on the ground. We get hit and we end up on the ground. We're injured, we end up on the ground. Two grown men fighting, we end up on the ground. What I want to make sure I can do is just to get the gun in the fight from the position I find myself in, and I'll fight myself up to a more better, stable fighting position. All right, so a couple years ago, we took guys out on the range, or a couple years ago, like a long time ago, we took guys out on the range. Once we started seeing that a lot of our altercations in law enforcement were ending up on the ground, we had a whistle. We told the guys, hey, as soon as we blow this whistle, we want you to put rounds on the target. Unequivocally, just about every one of those guys came up to their feet. We had one or two guys that actually engaged a target from a kneeling position. So that told us that we are not going to pick it up on the fly. We're going to revert back to what we've done. Those guys that came all the way up to standing told us we've never shot from the ground before, so we started implementing that in our classes. All right, so one of the things we want to look at here is we'll start from a ground position. We'll start on our back for this run. A couple things I want to do here. I'll always orientate those feet toward the threat, get them straight out so I don't have my knees or toes between me and the threat, and I'll turn those toes outboard. That puts all the muscles under tension, locks me into the ground all the way up to my shoulder blades. All I want to do here is raise and elevate the head just enough that I can get a sight picture and clear any obstruction between me and the bad guy. Nothing changes about this draw stroke except the orientation of the muzzle. All right, support hand still comes up high. I get that master grip on this pistol. It comes up out of the holster, muzzle's orientated toward the bad guy, and then I'll push this gun out, right? All right, I would put rounds on target here until the threat went down or away. I'm going to take that opportunity to get into a better fighting position. If I can set up, right, without having to break that support hand grip, I will. If I have to push myself up, I'll break with that support hand and push up. I'll engage from a seated position here. The threat goes down or away. I'll work myself into a kneeling position here. Again, engage till it goes down or away, all the way up into a fighting stance, right? All right, so if we're working at full speed from the ground, the way it'll work, toes outboard, no obstructions between me and the bad guy, as stable a position as I can get in. The gun comes up, push it out, work that threat. All right, with the 1911 style pistol or decocker here, I'm actually coming out of the fight, the safety will go on. Work myself into a seated position. Again, that threat as it appears, finger straight, safety on. Work into that kneeling position, engage that target again, finger straight, safety on, a good stable stance, work that thread, it goes down or away. All right, so work at full speed, putting multiple rounds on that target. Always trying to get into a better position. And safely holster. All right, folks, fight from the position you find yourself in instead of the one that you want to be in. Chase Jenkins, Talon Defense. Hope to see you on the range.